Ohio gozaimasu. Um, the I think the sun is behind me, so it might be kind of difficult to actually see my face. But I like the way that I'm facing right now, so that's what's happening. We are gonna do a Q&A today. Yay! How do you do a Q&A if nobody asked you any questions? That's a good question. That's not the first question, but it's a really good question. So what happened is Spirit really wanted me to do this because we are widely misunderstood as a person and by the people that are the closest to us. And I do mean the people that are supposed to be closest to us, even though we are such an open book about, with them, a lot of things, pretty much almost everything. But with people that we've just met, we are not so open of a book. We're so open of a book, but we say what we need to say. So you can't always really, know too much. But the people that are closest to us, they've watched us grow up. They've seen us before we knew who we were, and obviously before they knew who we were. So, all the ups and downs and stuff. But they still see us as someone who they don't understand. They don't understand how all of a sudden we are this person, and they don't understand why they believe that, because they can see it and they've seen it happen, and they've been a part of the whole evolution and stuff. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword, this truth thing. So yes, there will be a Q&A. This is what we're doing. Spirit is the one that really asks the questions, because these are going to be questions that people are going to ask anyway, but why not already just put it out there, and I like good questions. I like when people can ask really good questions, and I like when people can hear the answer, like that actually want to hear the answer and not just some basic ass people answer. So, praise the Lord. I tried not to say it that way, but being basic is not a bad thing. I'm made very average, actually, and in my average, I am very extraordinary, and that is my character. That is who we are. We are a cliche. We are a huge oxymoron, and that's just who we are. But without further ado, we wrote down, I think, about 35 questions. 33. Excuse me. Let's see how we get through these, because, the answers aren't going to be completely basic. But some of the questions are kind of basic because, we exist on the outside as well. So, might as well get some outside people questions. So basic isn't a bad thing, but if you're not supposed to be basic, then it's a bad thing. So stop it. Yeah. So question number itch. I'm going to try to do this in Japanese until I get to the number that, you know what? I have faith in ourselves. We can do this. All right. What kind of things do you like to do? I don't really have to think that hard about it. I think I'm really just trying to phrase the answer in like the best way possible. Even though our hand wrote these things down, it is like I'm seeing them for the first time. That makes me happy. That's the exciting part about being alive, to be honest. Yeah. So, what kind of things do you like to do? I like to watch anime, and we will actually change that word to love, because everything I choose to do in our world is very, we love it. We're very passionate about it. And anything that we're not passionate about, it doesn't even exist in our world. We're passionate about pooping. We love it. We're passionate about bathroom usages. We love that. We love taking showers. We love eating. We love eating. We love watching anime. Okay, not any and all anime. Just majority of it. I love all anime, but there are definitely titles that I could tell you I don't like, and types that I can tell you I don't like. I love children's shows, not like the new stuff, but like Word World on PBS Kids. Mainly like old PBS Kids. That was my shit because we didn't have cable. I love Hannah Montana. the old Disney Channel, the old Nickelodeon, the old Cartoon Network, Victorious. I love that. That was my show. When I could watch these things, I think that's really what made them more my show. Is like when we didn't have cable, so like when I would go to, this pigeon just like ran across the street and almost got ran over. Birds stress me out sometimes. I love bird watching. I love watching nature just in general. I've learned to really love that so much. I love watching the green trees. I love watching the water be water. I love watching the sky be sky, but I don't really watch the sky too much. I like to stare directly into the sun. I know that people tell you you can't do that and should not do that, but we like to do that. We don't do that as much as we used to. And then we got into that habit a lot more after we got into that habit when we awakened, before we like fully set out on our journey. It would really feel nice on my third eye as well. I love looking into the moon. I love smoking weed, especially at night while looking into the moon. I love spending time with my cat. I love spending time with my significant others. And I like spending time. I said significant others because there are multiple people in my life that I love, that I spend time with in the past. But at the same time, we'll make this more current. I love my life. I love living my life. So, as you can imagine, since I'm so passionate about my life, I love doing absolutely nothing. I love it so much. I love staring at walls. I love zoning out. I love talking to spirit. I love talking to God. I feel like that could have been like on the first part, but I'm so used to it that I don't really point it out all the time. And I love dancing. I love singing, and I love sleeping. I guess this is like, I just love being alive, like I just said. But yeah, since I'm so passionate about life, I also, love not being alive as well. So I can't really say that I fully enjoyed being here on Earth thus far, but I've had some beautiful moments that have definitely made me want to keep going. And now that we know more about our paths, I'm really glad about that, because I'm like, y'all really don't need me here. But that is the answer to question number 1. Like I said, I don't know if we're going to get through all of these questions, because it's not going to be a basic people answer. Let's see. Is it funny that I don't know how to say numbers in Japanese, but I know how to say the numbers? Ni, what would you say your favorite color is? Hold on. I love the color black. That is my favorite color. My favorite color growing up was pink. I cannot say that my favorite color is black now, because we are so comfortable and like beautiful in like every color we put on. We are really good with colors, especially now at this point in our life. We really just love colors, so we don't have a favorite color anymore. But black is definitely my favorite color. If I had to pay homage to it, I like pink again. I do indeed. I love so many colors. I love like neutrals. I love colors. I don't think I have a favorite color anymore, but I could definitely still say black, because black goes with everything. But I also wear a lot of white too. So, and white goes with everything as well. Beige, everything, browns, any color, and clearly, like, I'm doing some type of Italian thing right now with these colors. Like, straight up, this looks like a pizza restaurant. I'm with it. Let's see. And I'm not afraid to mix colors either, like, obviously. So, yeah, colors. I love colors. You'll see my hair be a lot of different colors in the future as well, too. Excuse me. But I'm kind of just more into the pastels now because I've done all of the other colors. And so once we did this white was supposed to be the base for pastels. So those will be definitely coming in the future. So don't be surprised. That's not how you say it, but that's going to be what it's going to be. But that's what it's going to be. I tried to mess up the sentence and said it correctly. I just wanted to repeat it back to myself. All right, San, who do you like the most out of your family? I have. Okay, so I have blood related my mom, and my little brother, who is my half blood brother. I was gonna say half blood prince. He is my half blood brother, but we don't even really say it like that, to be honest, because that's my family right there. My dad could be said that he is my family, um, but not by blood, and but he is technically my my blood relative. We'll just say it like that technically. And then I have a friend who is someone that I've added to the family because of love. And let's see, my significant other, my twin flame, he is also in my family. I have an older brother and I have a younger brother that is on my dad's side, like my non-biological dad. I don't know nothing about the biological father, so we're going to throw him out the picture because he's not even he was never in the picture. So I have a brother on that side and a sister on that side. We have multiple sisters on that side, but I don't count them as my family, because they didn't live in the house with me and my little brother and my mom. Like, that was my family. Like, and I do say was primarily because you cannot really change who your family is per se. But I cannot say that I feel connected to them as my family because they chose to not stay in my life as families should. And that's just the type of person I am. And they know that, but at the same time, they know that they could easily fix it if they wanted to. So it's not really something that's on my part. So to answer the question, because I do have those two people that are part of my family because I said so. That is my family because I have like aunts and uncles and stuff like that. A grandma. I don't have a grandfather anymore. I don't really care about that side of the family because I don't know them. They've never really shown their faces in my life. We don't have strong blood family ties like everyone else may have. So like I don't really talk about my family a lot. And when I do talk about my family, I'm talking about those 4 or 5 people that I just named. And sometimes that does include my dad, but it really does just include those people because those are people that we chose to bring into our family in general. And all of those people are not really in my life right now, and they're not choosing to be. So I would say that my favorite would be God. Yeah, because God and my spirit guides and all of my angels, they are my family as well. And so to be very specific about who my favorite family members are, it would be God, because God is really the person that I'm always talking to and he's always there for me. Spirit would come into a second if I was very specific about these things, because we have that type of relationship, but I wouldn't put her over God because there's just no reason for that, and we all understand where that's going. So, and I guess if I had to choose from the people that I can't really choose a favorite family member. It would be between my brother, my little brother, and my significant other, because they're all equal in my eyes, but like those are the people that I really depended on the most. And even though they broke my heart, they are people that I didn't expect for that to be like that. But with the other people, I knew there was going to be some type of difficulties, even if I had to be patient. So, and it's not even about what you do, it's really about the amount of love that was not received like it was given. So, yeah. She broke her own heart. Let's see. Uh, Yon, kids. Yes. Go. How many? Um, 3. And I am convinced there will be a 4th miracle child. But after that, tubes is tied. I got things to do. Roku, who do you look up to in life? Ourselves. I would say God, but really God treats us as the example for ourselves. Yeah. I don't think I've ever truly looked up to anybody in life. But Nana, how are you who you are today? That would answer that question. So we've learned how to be who we are today by doing what other people don't choose to do. So we're really good at paying attention to people's like learnings and mistakes, which is why I like anime so much, because people are so forward moving in those shows, and they have to be. But in real life, I've seen people do the same thing over and over again, and it irritates me because like it'll be people that'll even ask us for our help too, and this was before we even really awakened and knew what we were doing or anything like that. So we just always saw people go through so much stuff while our life was usually pretty peaceful. Like our life is pretty peaceful just in general. Like our life is always peaceful, even if that meant that nothing literally ever happened. So it was very easy for us to see when other people were going through things that they may have contributed to, even if it wasn't their fault, if that makes any sense. So we are like who we are because we chose to follow ourselves and not other people. And when we made a decision on certain things, we decided to do so because we were naturally inclined to do so. And so we are naturally a rebel because we ended up being natural to ourselves. So that is how we are like we are today. And there are people that I've looked up to, technically speaking, but God always found a way to show me exactly why I shouldn't look up to those people anymore. Once I got to a certain point, like I started to really see who they were, and it wasn't necessarily a bad thing, but it was more of like they knew, like at some point they had to stop teaching me how to do stuff because they didn't want me to keep growing so fast. And so I wasn't learning anything from them anymore, and that was not even my fault. Like I wanted to keep learning, and God is really the only teacher that I've ever had in my life that continuously teaches me how to be ourselves. Like he's never really stopped. I don't get bored with it at all. But like I've been in karate and I stopped at being a brown belt because at some point they stopped teaching me how to do things. But like in anime, you can break through houses and stuff, and I'm like, that's so cool. Like Kenichi, the mightiest disciple, that was my shit. I watched that in the library on the DVDs and stuff, because we didn't even really know what anime was, but we found those. And like the breakthrough into anime was so sporadic in different, like so many different ways, but it was so freeing. Like that was when I was just like, man, where has this been all my life? And so yeah, like I just learned how to be better than whatever was going on. um, and yeah, how are you who you are today? Anime, straight up. I would like just narrow it down to God, but anime, like I learned how to like understand how to be a better friend, a better person, towards myself, and in general, like how to believe in magic even more than I already did. Um, and we just spend a lot of time by ourselves as well. Everything else is just too boring for us. And so, yeah. And my mom was a hard worker, so I was always hardworking as well. So I could definitely say I got my work ethic from my mom because I just wanted to, well, I feel like that is kind of like a learned attribute, but really it's because I wanted more money so I could buy whatever I wanted. But it didn't really happen like that, like that. But I cannot say that it didn't happen like that. Um, but we did learn a lot of stuff just by us being us and not by looking up to others and trying to be like anyone else. Because when we did try to be like other people, like on TV, you know how it be when you're growing up. Um, when I tried to be like someone else, like Lita Monster Bunny. I don't know if anybody's ever watched her. Anybody know what? She was big for a cool minute. I don't know where she went, but she was a very big reason as to why I started dyeing my hair as well. My friends were all cool, so I looked up to them. But like no matter what I did, if it wasn't for me, I didn't like it because it didn't work. Like it didn't look the same. It wasn't. It wasn't me, you know. So I can't really say that I got anything from anyone else because I couldn't, like, physically it didn't work out, or energetically it didn't work out. Because I guess you could, you know, put something on you, but like if it doesn't look like you, it's not you. So that was kind of the thing. Next question. Where are we even at? Oh, Hachi, do you like school? I do like school. I love learning. I love food. I love school clothes. I love getting dressed for things. I don't like that you can't eat at school. I loved culinary school. That was the most useful school that I've ever been to. Yes, I like school. Uh, cute. Will you go back to school? I feel like I'll go to school, but not for like any real reason. Just to like do what I want to do because I know that I don't care. I know that I don't care at all what it is that they're trying to teach me at school enough to be like, okay, I'm going to go like 4 years here or 2 years or even a year, to be honest with you. Like, I know that I don't care enough to do any of that. But like, Hollywood Arts, you know, again, Victorious, like those schools are cool. I'm just telling you, like, being able to go to school and do whatever you want is such a big thing for me. And since that's not available here on this earth right now, it doesn't really interest me to be in any part of these situations because I've already learned the things that I've wanted to learn. And anything else that I choose to learn, oh yeah, YouTube. That is how I've learned literally how to do anything. And which is why I say God, because he puts these things in my face. Like that's how I read people so well, is because just we just YouTube everything and we're able to apply that to our world. So yeah, I would go back to school, but not for like a real reason, just because I feel like it, and I'll probably leave because I feel like it. And I'm gonna be eating. Like I'm really gonna do whatever I want. Like I really just want everybody to know that right off the bat. I'm going to be doing whatever I want. And, you know, I hope that you do too. That's what we deserve, right? Okay. Jew, who do you want to be when you grow up? I am already who I want to be when I grow up. Also, I am now 26, about to be 27 in December. So I'm actually very surprised that I remembered how old I am because I feel like my years have been eaten up, and I could definitely tell you that I feel like I'm older than that. But youthful, and that's a blessing. But overall, I am exactly who I wanted to be yesterday. I'm exactly who I want to be tomorrow. Like, I keep going, and I'm so happy to finally be the type of person that I want to be in life. Like that well-balanced anime character, I am definitely that character. That's someone that I always, like Urza on Fairy Tail. I wouldn't say that I'm her, but like definitely Definitely very close to that character because I like her so much. Like, she is definitely me, definitely. And she's even dorky like me. Like, but she's a lot more like good at being dorky. I'm also a perfectionist to a fault. So like I've had to work on that too. So, those things will keep improving as I keep going forward, but in general, I am definitely who I've always wanted to be. I could not say that when I was younger, and I couldn't say that before I started knowing who God was, because my goodness, life was hard. Let's see. Juichi, are you talented or are you gifted? I thought this was a funny question when we wrote it down because I'm like, those are not the same thing, but like, why are they not the same thing? I feel like talented is something that means that you have the ability to show everybody what it is that you're like what you can do, your skill sets and stuff like that. But like gifted means that you are innately already in that, like you have that, but you don't quite know that you have that potential or you have that thing or whatever, you know what I mean? So I would like to say I'm a little bit of both. When I'm by myself, I'm very talented. Like it's actually or when I'm around Georgie, very talented, my twin, because I feel so comfortable. But gifted, I'm definitely gifted. There's so many things that I know how to do and so many things that we are just really good at doing that we're so happy that we're able to do, but yet like I don't really know how to showcase those things yet. So we're learning on how to do that in this lifetime, because there are things that I'm sure that I was really good at in other realities that you know it's going to take my brain a lot more expanding before I can do them here. So gifted. Junie, do you love the Lord? Yes, very much so. Collision. All right. Jusan, who are you most excited to meet? I am very excited to meet a lot of people actually. There are celebrities that one would call them big celebrities. It's funny because we have our eye on such interesting people, but it's really true. Like there are like big celebrities that I feel so connected to on a soul level and in a different way than people would normally like connect to those people, especially since they don't know them face to face. But I feel like I do, and I want to know how our friendship will be in the future, because I know that I've manifested that, and the fact that we send them so much love, and we'll think about them in our dreams sometimes, and we'll send them love because we know that they're going through something, and we just understand them in a different way. So I'm most excited to meet the friends that I have not made yet. Or I guess in this case, the friends that we've made that they don't know that we're friends yet, because like the initiation, like we don't know how it's going to go. We just know that in the end, we will definitely be closer than family, because that's who my friends are to me. Um, Even the ones that I've had to cut off, I don't like to speak about them too much because I don't want to, really feel like I've given up on them, because I know that I haven't. But day by day goes and I don't really care anymore. But like at the same time, it's not true. I just feel like I have to be patient in that way. So I'm most excited to meet the people that I love. Yeah. Let's see. And yeah, no, yeah, that's the answer to that answer. Ju Yon. I'm assuming that's how you say that, to be honest with you. I have no idea. I've never went past like Junie, which is also not true, but it's true right now. How many friends do you have? I have no physical friends. I have about 10 spiritual guides who are my friends, including myself. So 11, which is funny because that's my master number. It's my life path number. So yeah, but yeah, no, physically I don't have any friends anymore, and that's okay. Uh, Jugo. I'm really trying to figure this out. Why do you cut people off so easily? Damn. Okay. um, because I have to. If you don't cut people off, you can't keep going. People don't understand how important it is to protect your energy and to understand that not everybody is going to be beneficial to you, even if you believe that they're supposed to be beneficial to you. Like I said, the people that I love, um, and this does include my mother and my father. These people are not in my life right now because they don't treat me the way that I want to be treated. And they don't even give me the amount of love that I gave them back to me. The same type of support or the same type of. It really does come down to support. So I've learned through cutting those people off, however temporarily it may be, it is better for me to bring in people that are vibrationally ready for me to be around 24/7 as much as I want to, instead of bringing someone in and them feeling like we're friends and like we're, connected and stuff in that way, and then like having to cut them off because I can't stand their ass the next day because their energy didn't follow mine or their own, really. The way vibration really does work is that when you meet me, chances are you're going through like a huge transformation. And at the same time, if you choose not to keep growing in that time period, like your energy will start moving faster when you meet me or when you watch my videos or anything like that. Like you will go through like really big life lessons. And if you're not ready to pass those life lessons, if we made plans to hang out the next day, chances are you're not going to make it. You're going to have to cancel. You're probably going to get sick. Something is going to happen where we cannot meet face to face. And if by chance something does happen where we meet face to face, I know that you passed a level, yes. But at the same time, I can always tell when someone's energy is like just barely hanging on. Like they're doing great right now, but I know that I'm not going to keep being able to hang around with them. And so I do get surprised when I'm able to be around somebody for longer. You will get jealous of me as well, start having some type of ego trip, and that happens very often. Like people start feeling and doubting themselves. And so really the reason I cut people off so easily is for my protection, but also more for theirs, for yours, whatever. That's why I'm so honest as well, because it is so easy for people to get attached to me, more easy than they like to admit, as well. And I'll point it out just so that I can try to cut down some of the chit chat because I don't like chit chat. But I try to do it as kindly as possible because these are people's, emotions and feelings that we're dealing with here. And as a healer, as a master healer, it is really difficult for me to break people's hearts every single time that I have to break people's hearts, because there are periods of time where I'm doing it every single day because someone different or maybe even the same people pop up and it's just like, I'm in love with you, I'm in love with you, I'm in love with you. And they won't even say it necessarily like that. Some people won't necessarily say it like that. But you can feel it in their energy. And, like, let's just say we make grown men cry. And we don't mean to make it like that, but it would be a lot worse if we were to lie to them and say, oh, yeah, we can be friends when I don't even really like you like that. So I'm very honest about that. And so I don't allow people to be like, oh, we're friends. I don't allow people to attach themselves to me because it's easier that way, especially because you don't need extra baggage. I don't need extra baggage. Like, yeah. So it's not about thinking someone is good enough or not. It really is about seeing your energy and knowing what it is that you're going to be going through in general, and helping you and helping ourselves, and skedoodling on out of the situation, because there's nothing else you can really do after that point. It's really just running around in cycles that you're not supposed to be in. So that is why it's so easy for me to cut off people. And I wouldn't even say it's really easy, because I am an empath, so these things do hurt. It does depend on, like certain situations, though. I'm not going to just be like, it really could be a lot of things. Okay, Juroku. Do you like your own race? So I don't dislike my own race. I find nothing wrong with my own color. I like who I like. I am very, like I said, I really like Asians more than really anything. My significant other is Mexican. I do like white people, and I don't dislike black people. The thing with that is, in my vibrational reality, I grew up around, we'll just say, we'll use the term colored, because I feel straight up racist just saying so many different terms that beat around the bush of black, because I like to speak how I like to speak, but really, as as an influencer in general, I do have to make sure that I say what I is that I mean, and I do mean colored in general, like colored people. But I feel like I was about to say, I do feel like, as a black person, but straight up, like, I used to get teased for the same types of things that every other black person probably got teased for. I used to get looked at in the store crazy, like, in certain ways, just like probably every other black person has had to go through that certain thing or whatnot. I've had to go through my fair share of racism, and I think that also made it harder for me to want to be black, you know. And there are struggles that I've had to deal with in general, like certain, yes, certain colors didn't look good on me when I was younger because I didn't know how to wear them yet. So we just chose not to. And there were certain hairstyles that my mom used to try to make us wear that I just did not want to be a part of. I still don't want to be a part of them. My mom can do hair. Oh my goodness, my mom can do hair. I just prefer her to not do my hair like that, because that's just for me. Like, you know, but because I don't want to walk around with a fro. Even though right now you guys might think that this is a fro, it's not. It's just curls, and my hair grew out a lot. It does not look like this. And you'll hear me say that a lot, because this is something like this right here is a boundary push for me. But we're embracing it because I know that I'm beautiful, and that's good. So I love myself. I love the way that I look. I love, I had a crush on this one girl. Her name was Dia. She never knew that. Now she knows. Her name was Dia, and I used to have a crush on her, and I would think about her all the time. I dated a black girl before. um, I don't dislike my own race. I just don't care. I don't make a big deal out of it. But, like, as a human, I do like to be like, like, oh, that's black people right there, or that's a white person thing right there. Like, cause some straight up, some things we know we're like, oh, that's what white people do. Or like when somebody rides by in a certain car or whatever, like, oh, that's an Asian. It's Asian. That's why they're driving like that. And then, like, like Mexicans, when certain things and whatnot, which I'm not gonna get into like each one, but like each race to me, like, is funny in some type of way. Or they have their quirks, they have their non-quirks, they have their things that I don't care for, and that's just what people are in general. But like, if to be specific in certain demographics, that would probably be my thing. But in general, I don't believe that I'm racist. But like if I were to be labeled as one, it's because I believe Asians are just great. But like, I don't know. I don't know how else to say that. So no, I'm not really, but I don't be like I'm labeled as black. But I can tell when someone is treating me a certain way because I'm a certain color though. I can definitely, I'm like not stupid to these things. I know who I am. I'm very comfortable in my skin and my body and my life path, choice, whatever. But to me, the color of your skin only enhances who you are. It shouldn't take away from your experience in any type of way. And when certain things are happening because someone is a certain color or whatnot, I do recognize these things, and I don't like that. I'll say something about those types of things, like And yes, when certain people are better at certain things because that they have a little bit of extra spice in them in some type of way, I'm not ignorant to these things too. I feel like I said, like I just feel like race really enhances a lot of things. I feel like it shouldn't be denied. I feel like people really do need to act right. And at the same time, I also understand, how races can be different. And, I get it. I get it in cultures. Like, I don't know too much about a lot of stuff, but I do definitely know what I know. And I do like what I like. So, yeah. Moving on. Junana, who do you listen to the most? Other than God, this is a music question. I listen to anything that really strikes my heart in a way where I'm listening to what it is, exactly what you're saying. Like, it doesn't matter what it is, but if you have a message, I hear it. And even if it's not even if it's not words, like the feeling of certain things, like the vibrations and whatnot. I listen to Janae Aiko a lot. I used to listen to her a lot more. It really is about the mood. The Weekend. I listen to the 21 Pilots, but I don't listen to them as much anymore. I do really like rock. I think anything from like not old school rock necessarily, but probably now it's definitely labeled as old school rock. But like Evanescence and Avenged Sevenfold. Let's see. I was not gonna say Seether. I only like 2 songs from Seether. Uh, hold on, let me adjust my life. Let's see. I can't really get into how many people I listen to, but I definitely listen to Miguel. I listen to a lot of love music. I listen to a lot of Ariana Grande. I listen to Rihanna, Doja Cat. I listen to Doja a lot, actually. Drake, Nicki Minaj. I listen to her. I listen to a little bit of Cardi B when I feel like I like Cardi when I'm listening to her, but when I'm not listening to her, I don't really care for her music. And that is just because, like, I don't know, I don't really think that there's more happening to it yet, but I like what I hear, and it serves purpose when I hear it. And I like to see her. I think I'm more interested in seeing her grow as a person rather than what her music sounds like. Yeah. I don't really think I listen to too many other people. I really do listen to like mainstream people. Evanescence is still my favorite band, to be honest with you, but I don't listen to her as much as I used to because it's always like oh yeah, Florence and the Machine. Yeah, anything Florence and the Machine. I don't even care. Can't think of anybody else right now, but those really are the main people. Oh, Aurora. I can't forget her. I listen to her now too. Billie Eilish. I listen to her when I listen to her, and I really do enjoy her music when I enjoy her music. Straight up, like I feel like there's it's pretty mainstream people. Coldplay. I can't think of anybody else. I used to listen to Lady Gaga. I'm listening to more to her now. Let's see. Yeah, we might need to do like a part 2. So we'll see how this goes because this video can be long and I'm happy about that. Ju Hachi, how much do you meditate? Oh, we're getting into the juicier questions now. How much do you meditate? I don't really meditate as much as I would like to anymore. I used to because I was a lot more comfortable before. Um, if I feel like I need to meditate, I normally go to sleep, and I like to meditate while I'm sleeping because I get the deeper meditations like that and I can hit all of my chakras. I'm really good at directing my energy, so when there's something that I feel like I need to handle, I like to do that while I'm sleeping. I used to meditate during public transportation, um, when I was taking the bus and the train here, because that was not a thing in Fresno. And prior to that, I had a truck, so that ain't had nothing to do with nothing. But whilst taking the bus and the trains here, I would meditate, and God really does support you when you're on your path. So I would always wake up at my stop if I went into like a deep meditation. If I needed to take like some type of nap or something, like I would be meditating, I'd take a nap, and like I'm always safe. So like I just don't fear doing what I need to do. So the real answer is all the time, but really, as someone that does it all the time, I know that I could be doing it more often because I am so natural at it. And so I don't really meditate as much as I want to because of that. But I do meditate, especially like I meditate very often, a lot more than a lot of people do, but that's not true at the same time because they would normally sit down and do it probably like for an hour or two or maybe even four. It depends on who you are, right? But me, um, meditate at night and throughout the day, but like it depends on after what and if I choose to, because it's a natural thing. Um, but yeah. Jew Q. I think that's how you would say that. How long do you pray? Okay, so this is kind of a trick question. I would say that praying is definitely a continuous thing, but like I said, I speak to God, and I don't mean like, what do we do now? Well, okay, first off, that's a very common thing for me to be doing. Like, I'll go like this, and people are like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, I'm meditating or I'm praying. Like, it doesn't, like, people really be feeling some type of way when you use your fists for anything. It's really crazy. But, um, I, I pray all the time. Let's be realistic about that. I pray all the time, just the same as meditation. It just feels different. I feel like there's always, like, if I say that I'll pray for you, chances are I'm not going to have you in my prayers every night. I'm going to make sure that God knows that I expect something to be done about your situation because I'm watching you be in pain right now. Like, um, people get brought to me at certain different times, and so I'm like, okay, so we know that they're going to be just fine because we know that they're here right now. Like, we know that whoever we meet is not going to die, and we know that their dreams and aspirations is going to be answered. Like, we know that we've experienced that. Like, we know this. So when we say that we're praying for someone, or like we'll do like a video where we're like, you're entering in our energy, there are certain rules to it. Sometimes we'll be like, don't say amen, unless you want to cut off the energy, because that's the condition for that specific type of energy wave that we were in that moment, and it'll keep growing, but it depends. Like, the rules do change. So, but we'll let you know what they are. So, it is possible to definitely be a part of someone else's energy. Like, you're a part of our energy right now while you're watching this video, but at the same time, um, praying, I pray before I eat. We pray in the morning after we do our 3 scriptures 3 times each, and then after we read the Bible, we pray as well. We pray whenever we feel like we just need to pray, but we do a continuous prayer, so we're always actually praying and doing some type of work with the Lord as well. So that added on to talking to him as a friend, as we do all the time. So, yeah. Oh, that brings us to our next one. Jew. Wait, no, it's need you. Need you. Uh, you talk to God. What is that like? So, it's funny. It's really funny. It's actually really hilarious. God is really funny. He is someone that I can really talk to about anything, and that makes me happy because he really just doesn't answer like someone else would. He just really wouldn't. And he really makes me think. And I wouldn't say that it is a voice, it's more of like it's more of like a feeling, like not a thing. He wants me to say a thing. It's like a thing. How does that help? It's really it's a question. What kind of question is that? He's making this difficult. He's really not trying to have you understand that, I guess. But like it's really because it's different for everybody, really. But for me specifically, I just speak to him the way that I would speak to you. I'm just talking to him. So, I get a lot more out of it because he is him and he is not us. And on top of that, I'm able to speak to my other guides as well in the same way. It's just his personality is his personality. And he's, like I said, he's really funny. And y'all would actually be surprised at the things that he says because a lot of y'all get offended about a lot of stuff. And God is just something else. It's just really fun. I think that's just really the way that I can answer that question. It's really fun. It's really wholesome. There's nothing really else I can say about it because he's just a good person. I really do think of him as a person. Yeah. Let's see. How would I say? Nijuichi. Past this point, these might just be really incorrect numbers, and I am sorry, but I am doing my best, and I haven't learned these numbers yet. Okay, don't get offended. I'm actively learning Japanese right now. We're just not there yet. Yeah, Nijuichi. Do you look down on others because you are who you are? These answers that are coming through my head immediately. Kinda. Yeah, I really do. I really do. And that's something that I would like to be honest about. I do. I look down on people a lot, and that is because it's so easy for me to do certain things that it isn't easy for other people to do. And so that causes us to be by ourselves a lot, and so we get irritated. Um, we get we get very irritated with people, and we have to remind ourselves to be kind because of that. That is more of like a I would say a secondary response, but like it's after that. Because my first initial response is not one of judgment because I don't want it to be. And we have to make sure to view people as they are, right? But like we get our feelings hurt very easily as well. We have our own, body and emotions and stuff like that. So we don't like it when people walk past us and they can see that, like, I'm someone that you should probably talk to or maybe ask if they need something, and not in a way of pity, like, oh, what's going on? Like, hey, what are you doing? Like, what are you working on? Or, and there's a lot of situations that we've been put into where I'm just like, okay, well, I would ask that person. I would say something. I would want to know more. You see me doing this. Why wouldn't you want to know? And that's really something that irritates me, is like the closed-mindedness of people, right? So that I do look down on people because of that. Because I'm just like, where, like, how people normally would just get upset with people about not having common sense? Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with a lot of things at a lot of points in time. I just choose not to have that view on life, because that doesn't help either one of us grow. Because how does that help with my compassion if I'm upset with you about everything that it is that you were choosing to be right now? You know, that shows where I'm at. And so that continues to be something that, even though I don't view people like that, um, it irritates me. And it is because it's so easy for me, but I have to remember why it's so easy for me. And that's also why I choose not to feel that way. But my, feelings are valid. I've been waiting for a cool minute for everybody to get it together so that we could be together. But at the same time, that's the whole point of the story, right? That was the whole point of my story to begin with, right? Oh man, that was a throwback. That hit me harder than it needed to. Oh, okay. All right. Anyway. And so yeah, and then there are people that are on my wavelength, and I try to just soak into that a lot. And that doesn't mean that I don't talk to people that are not necessarily on my wavelength. I only speak to you if you really speak to me, and if there's a reason to. Like, you have to be saying something, like, for me to say anything back. Because again, I don't treat the chit chat. I treat everybody equally, but as their energy is meant to be treated, right? And if you're just not meant to be in my energy, I'm not going to talk to you. Or you might just catch some silence. So so it's different. So people might think that I'm stuck up in some type of way, but it's just like, nah, just probably to you, because you're not saying anything that I'm supposed to be saying. And there are people that really like to flex that they know just as much or more. Like I said, ego things that end up happening a lot around us. But we have to have patience with these things, because I'm like, you're not wrong. I'm just not about to fight with you over certain things. But if I feel like I need to say something, I will, because, I'm good at, conversation, and I'm good at debate. Like, I love these things. It's just like has to be good reason. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I think we're gonna cut it off on this video because it's about to be an hour, and I don't know if it's gonna cut off on me before it gets uploaded. That's a really good question, because I really want to keep going. I wonder if I can get the full 1 hour 30 minutes on here. Let's see how good these answers get answered. These questions get answered. That's the actual word. I have to poo. I just wanted to let you know that. So if we do actually end up leaving it, it might be because of that. Where are we at? Okay. Ni Ju Ni. Okay. Do you use your influence to get what you want? It depends on what it is and how. There was one good time that I actually used my energy to get what I wanted from my significant other. And it was through sexual matters. And I knew to ask him for food while we were doing some of the nibbling on the neck type of thing, right? Because we know what we do to him. And I'm exposing myself right now, so listen up. So during that point, I didn't know that that was not a good thing to do, because I've never had that power over someone. And usually he's okay with buying me food, so I didn't really think about it like that. And so he ended up buying food that day, even though I said not to do so, because we caught on, and he just felt, you could tell that he felt defeated and stuff like that. But like at the same time, me, especially knowing now what I know that, he was probably afraid of losing me and thought that he had to do whatever I wanted him to do, and stuff like that. But that was the one time where we did that, and we apologized for it probably a good 3 times on that time. And after, like a couple times afterwards, where we thought about it again, because it was part of my shadow side leaving, because I never even had that lesson before. And that was something that I was just like, I didn't know that it wasn't a good power to use in that way. Like, I didn't know that it would hurt him like that. I didn't know that it would hurt anybody like that, really. And so I was just like, that's something that I choose not to do. I don't like to take advantage of people because of that specifically. And because I wouldn't want someone to feel like they've been taken advantage of, because I'm able to understand these things. I don't like leaving people out when they shouldn't be left out. Um, but like, if some people are not supposed to, like, you know what I mean? Like, two people invite me to the group, but one person feels left out because one person's milking all of my attention, even though I'm trying to shed attention to both sides. But like, one person's not giving attention back in, and they're being left out, like that one person at the table that got used just to get my attention, and they knew it. So then I just cut the whole thing off, like, so that's different. Like, I'm not a mean girl. That's But like, I could be if I wanted to be, but I'm not, because I wouldn't want to be in that situation. And with great power does come great responsibility. Sorry if that was loud in the mic. My ear was itching. But yeah, no, I do not use my influence to get what I want, especially if it's something that I can get myself. But like, if somebody is giving me something because they feel guided to give me something, I gratefully accept. And if I feel like someone is giving me something and their energy is not good enough for me to be talking to them for longer than what it is that I'm talking to them as, I won't smoke with them, because I do smoke with people, like smoke circles in general. But some people, mostly guys, it's mainly the masculine energy that I spend more time around. But they want things from these interactions, and even though they know they can't get anything from it, at some point both sides will feel like they're kind of obligated to do something in return for whatever was given. And I don't ever give people that energy to make, like, let them feel like they have that on me as well. So it's more of like a protection for myself, because you ain't getting nothing from me, especially if I told you I ain't getting nothing from me. Like, I'm very straightforward about what it is that I say. And so if they they know what if the both sides understand that we're just, like, we literally are talking to each other in a public place right now, and we're getting to know each other, and we're talking about God and whatever it is we're talking about, praise the Lord, we're chilling, like, that's it. Like, as long as we know that that's all that's going to happen right now, and you're going to remember me for the rest of your life until you forget about me for the rest of your life, like, that's all that's happening right here, then I will accept weed from you while we're smoking. But chances are, if you are going to, like, if you're more generous with it, like, I'm generous with my weed too. Like, I'll keep rolling it. If I got it and I like you and we're smoking, like, I'm gonna keep rolling it. So, like, I follow the same rules as well. Like, it's very equal, and like equal give and take when it comes to me. So like, I don't have a problem taking, but like, at the same time, certain situations you got to read the energy. And especially if someone is giving in hopes of gaining your favor, even though they know that, like when someone's straight up simping for you and you don't want to take advantage of those people, that then I probably won't even accept anything depending on the situation. But like, there are certain things where like, God is like, that's for you, take it. So yes and no, like I said. Niju San, I really hope I'm saying these right. I'm gonna have to check this out. What are your views on sex? I feel like what are your views on sex? Okay, so it's cool. I like it. It's all right, right? But until my significant other came around, I really couldn't understand why people were really all up in it like they are. So, and like, I couldn't even understand how I ended up having to think that I wanted to be kind of like that either. So my significant other really changed my views on it because I've always had the same kind of views on it, but they're more concrete now because of him. Like, he, it's safe to say he's ruined it for me because of our situation, but it's a good thing because it really does keep me out of trouble because I know what I want, how I want it, who I want it from, all that stuff. I believe that there's more to this answer because giving away your power is involved with sex, in on both sides really. So, but mainly for the feminine energy because we carry it down there. So it's really different for me, but at the same time, like, I believe in making love. I do not believe in the F word. I don't really care for using it for that term. There are certain songs that I sing that I like that have those words in them describing that act. However, I do not personally like that, and if I can change it, in certain songs, or if I feel like the vibe to change it, then I will. But genuinely, I don't like calling it like that. Like, I have a song called we don't, well, I don't know if it's called that, but the first line is like, we don't fuck, we make love, I swear he's sent from above. Anyway, but that's the point. Yeah, like, I don't believe in like doing all that, but like, it's not boring. I'll definitely tell you that it is not. It's not boring. And I'm very clean about it. I think y'all are gonna get to see these things, so I don't really need to like get into it right now. And like I said, my significant other would be great to add to these types of conversations, but whatever. But he could tell you the same. I probably ruined it for him too. Next. Ni Ju Young. What is your view on same-sex love? I believe in it the same way I believe in regular sex love. Like I said, I dated a girl. I've dated a couple of them, but that was the only like serious relationship. I am bisexual and I do genuinely love women. But I'm in love with this boy, so that's very different. I believe that love should be love, though. I feel like a lot of people really are just trying to do certain things because they want to be cool or they want to be a part of something else and whatnot. And I feel like it just really, the focus always should be on who you are and trying to figure out what it is that you want from a situation, from your life, and from your own relationship. So when it comes to that specifically, I don't like that they make it seem as if it's okay to have multiple whatever's going on and whatnot. I do believe that um, once people really understand what they want from their lives and from what they want from themselves, they will realize that they only want the other half of them and not the other 3/4 and 15 wives and stuff like that. I do support monogamy heavily, but there are some people that I've told my significant other that, if it were to happen, who, like, not who, but I'd be like, would you be okay with it? He'd be like, yeah, yes. Like, it's just like funny because it's a conversation, but it's because genuinely, like, I love these people. So it's different, but I wouldn't do that because I wouldn't be able to continue. I feel like that would just kind of be wrong in general. Like, there's not enough love there to be doing that on. However, I could have. I've definitely broken it down in my head a bunch of times. So that is my view on that. I believe that it is just as beautiful as anything, really. I just feel like some people use it as an excuse to be forever indecisive, and I don't care for that whatsoever. It's one thing to find yourself, but it's another to just go on a rampage and you need to chill out. And that's just the same as regular, not even regular people sex, but like, what is the word? Opposites? I don't know. Because we're all regular people. I don't even know how to say that. Next. Need you go. It's making me like just squint my eyes every single time. You are Jesus. Why do you curse? I do when it is meant for me to say certain things. Like when I say, what is the word? Excuse me. Or like, well, I'll be like, fuck it up. I don't say that very often, but when I do, I do. There is this thing that people do need to understand. It's like, it's the energy behind the situation. It's not the word itself. Like, we'll use two separate people as an example for this. There's someone that comments on a video, like comments on music videos and stuff that I watch very often, and he'll be like, bitch, 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 like, you know what I mean, like really excited and stuff, and calling people B words, right? But like the love and the flavor that he has behind it, the energy that is behind it is very positive. It's very fun. It makes me feel like I'm supposed to be here. Like it's a good welcome hug. Like when I hear it, and when I hear it from that person, I'm just like, that's funny. Genuinely, I don't like calling my friends B words. I don't like cussing at my friends or anything like that. We say what we need to say in certain situations, but I don't like certain things, and that's because I don't view myself as that. Like I used to say certain things like, get in the car, bitch, like those types of things, but like at the same time now I know that I personally don't like certain things like that, so I choose not to say that to certain people, or really at all. But like I said, the future is the future. I don't know how this is going to go yet, right? But I choose not to say certain things. I don't like certain words. I don't like the way they hit my mind, my heart. There's another commenter where I have commented that I didn't like the way he said the B word, because I felt attacked. Like I felt attacked. It really felt like an attack. Like it did. And so I said that. I was just like, it's not the fact that you use the word. It's just the energy behind it that made me feel like you were angry at us for some reason. Like it was not the same energy. It wasn't that person's own good energy. It was like very it had its own defensive type of energy in its own way, but it was being used technically in the same way, technically speaking. But the differences were they're very big, but they're two totally different people. But like I'm talking about on two different types of spectrums. Like I don't like being referred to, as certain things. I don't feel like, it has to be said, but sometimes certain parts of the world, like it is 2021, there's so much in the world that you can't take away right now. And I grew up in this world too. But genuinely, like I say daggone it, dang it, darn it. I barely say the D word in general, like damn, but sometimes I will. I do listen to Kendrick Lamar, not often, but like that could change in the future, because I really do like his music. I just don't listen to it a lot, but you get what I mean, because he has a album named titled Damn, and yeah. So it's mainly the energy of things. That's really what it is. Like there's nothing good or bad in this world. It really is the energy behind it. So when people say certain things, it has to be good energy. You have to be just giving me good energy. So if I'm saying something and it's for the need of a story or whatever, that's what I'm saying. But you won't just catch me acting a fool for no reason. So it is what it is. I think that's really the way to put it. It is what it is. All right. Let's see where we're at now. Let's see. Nijuroku. What led you to bring tarot and or the use of magic into God's home? Okay. So that's a really good question. That's a really funny question because in reality, magic never left God's home. That's a really interesting way to answer this question. There's always been so much magic in God's home. It's just people believe that it's not for us because of what the Bible said, which is, it's true. It's very true. Because the people in the Bible didn't know what they were doing yet. They were not ready to do that. But you see Moses, you had Joshua. There were people, prophets, people that God chose to give power to in order to show himself. You know what I mean? And so what happened here is that we are all characters from multiple different religions, and you'll know who you are as we start waking up again. But we already came from heaven. We already made it here, right? Hence why I'm here, while we're here, really, to help you understand that that was the guide point, that was the beginning, but they had no knowledge of how to use these things. So it was more for our own protection while we were there rather than what you guys are now. Even I had my own special set of stuff while I was there, literally master healer. And now coming back, I'm learning how to use those things again, but it does hit a lot different. And at the same time, that's probably because my mind is still kind of trying to fathom a lot of things. But magic never left. It was just not meant for humans to be a part of that. But since Adam and Eve ate, the apple and all of that happened, that knowledge of it was brought there, but the knowledge of how to use it was not brought there, which is why we've gone through witch trials and stuff in this lifetime situation. We'll say lifetime situation because we know that was years, before this and whatnot. But why we learned to have compassion for those people, and why it's so different now, where there's a whole community of people that use magic now, and they're good. Those people are a lot better at a lot of things than a lot of people that are watching this are, because they're so open to who their full expression is, because we know the truth. We're not holding ourselves back, right? So I didn't bring anything anywhere. It is just a part of who we are, and I'm happy to be a part of it. And I came here to be here like this, so that I didn't bring anything anywhere. God did it, and he's teaching us how to use it. He's letting us use this now because we are gods and goddesses. That is why we're here. There's a lot of NPCs here, and that is also why people feel like a lot of people are dying all the time. But we're not gonna get into that because we ain't got time for that on this. Somebody asked me about that in the future. All right, hold on. Okay, where are we at? Niju Nana. Who do you take your orders from? God. And praise the Lord, ourselves. Because I have to pay attention to what's happening with me. Niju Hachi. You do not sin. Do you still make mistakes? Yes, very often actually. Not as often as you would like to think, but definitely. Sometimes it is a part of my intuition to make said mistakes. I dated a boy for 3 days. I was about to say 3 months. It was 3 days. And that situation kind of just happened. I stole something before all of this really popped off. And that situation kind of just happened. It was like I was being led to do these things. Even when I take the wrong turn, like that is meant. So yes, we do make mistakes in general, and you'll see that when we're reading the Bible. Like we'll be reading it, we'll be understanding it, but our mouth is saying something totally different than what it is that is coming in our faces. That did not sound right. Oh my goodness, we don't even make jokes like that, but that did not go correct at all. Moving on. Everybody makes mistakes. Um, Controversy. Yes, everybody makes mistakes, especially God, but that is why he fixed it. And he did it on purpose at the same time. So it really wasn't a mistake. There's more to that. I'm still learning about that because I'm sure I know when I'm up there, but since I'm here, moving on. Niju Q. I don't think that's how you say that. How do you follow your intuition? I'm asking for a friend. These questions are creative. I like them. Um, how do you follow your intuition? It's more of a feeling that what is being said is correct, and that can happen in a lot of different ways. You can either feel really triggered, but you have to pay attention to why you feel triggered. Like, are you feeling triggered because it's breaking down everything that you know, or are you comfortably feeling triggered as if being like, well, even then that might be being triggered in a different way, but like really you'll feel it and be like, okay, this is the right feeling. Like it really is on how well you feel,